everyone, welcome to Student Adda, your very own podcast. हम हैं आपके host और आपके दोस्त. Today we have a very special guest and my very good friend Daniyah, who has scored more than 95% in her board exams. Hello Daniyah, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm great. As ma'am said, my name is Daniyah Kidwai, and thank you very much for inviting me in this podcast. It's really a thrill to be here.
Let's start with a fun one. If your brain was a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I probably say personal universe creation because that's the most fascinating one, I would say. Like, who doesn't want everything under their control? So, personal universe creation would probably give me that power, and I would be the one in control of that. So, yeah.
That is a very interesting answer, I must say. And I'm sure that all the students are going to comment how what they would want their superpower to be, right? So our next question is, what is that one magic trick or habit that helped you to stay motivated throughout your exam board preparation?
Well, yeah, as the question suggests, it can get pretty tiring, and like the whole year you're just studying and studying with the pressure that it's your board, you have to score well. So that one magic trick for me was regular breaks, I'd say. Because if you keep taking breaks, it would not get monotonous. Because if you have to do the same thing every day, you will get bored and fed up of your own self. And if you are on the peak time, like your exam, half yearlies, or boards itself, then maybe breaks would not be amenable. So you can reward yourself. Like if you through with the chapter or a particular subheading you were doing, reward yourself. Like have a chocolate or maybe have a 15 minute scroll. That's how you could go for it.
That is some wonderful advice, and I believe as a student, I'm going to use it myself, isn't it? Okay, so your third question is, how do you deal with the days when you don't feel like studying or aren't feeling the best?
That's a pretty good question because there can be days where you don't feel like studying. So on those days, I would probably not study because forcing yourself is not the key to scoring well. You can never do well by forcing yourself and pressurizing yourself. But I understand if you're in a peak position again, if you have your exam, or if you feel guilty that I'm not studying today, what you can do is create an imaginary student in front of you, like what I used to do. If I'm not in the mood to study, imaginary student in front of me. I would be like, become a teacher and I would explain that topic or subject to that imaginary student. And then eventually things would automatically enter your head because you are in that teacher superior kind of a mode and you will learn the things like naturally.
That is a brilliant way to do this, and that would make it so interesting, and it's a great way to deal with burnout, right? Okay,
Yes.
so our next question is that we have heard that you are into debating, public speaking, and other co-curricular activities. So how do you make it possible to balance academics with so many co-curricular activities?
Well, okay. For this, I would say it's it's really not that tough. In class 10th, in your board year, you just need to know priority is. If you prioritize studying, that every day those 2 hours of pure learning work, they are untouched. If you can do that, then you can very well manage all the extracurriculars like I used to do. Like there was this instance last year when I had my first unit test of like class 10, and it was on 8th July. And on 7th July, I was in La Martiniere Girls attending a full day MUN. and then just doing a 2 hour study in the evening, and the next day I was giving my paper. So it can be balanced. You just need to know your priority. And just for a spoiler, I scored pretty well. Like I scored 38 on 40, I suppose. So you can do it. Just know your priority.
How did your teachers feel? Back in the day when we used to do this, our teachers used to get so angry.
I understand, but teachers these days are very supportive of you. Like if you're a sporty person, then you have to be out like half of the time of out of school. But the teachers still support you, and the teachers in our school, they were so supportive that like they used to make 2 sets of question papers for the students who were out for sports and other activities. So it was never a problem. And rather, when I scored so well, my history teacher was like, "That's what I expected from you. Good."
Kudos to all your teachers because it's, they like preparing a completely different set of questions for the students who are out. That is really, that is hard work that they put in to make you guys, do all this. So very nice. Okay, so our next question is, who would you say is your success?
Okay, with no doubt, I would say it's my mother because she has been that one constant support throughout my this period of studying hard for my boards. Like as I said, I used to like reward myself and take breaks. So it was always my mother who was standing there for me, like waiting for me to turn around with an exhausted face to comfort me, to cheer me up. So it's no doubt it was my mother behind my success.
Certainly. Okay, so the last question for the day is, what message or advice would you like to give to fellow Aghazians and students who are preparing for the board exams this year?
Okay, well, for the advice, first of all, I would say don't try to compare yourselves with the students who study for 18 hours or so they say and always seem prepared and invincible. Please do not compare yourselves to them. And also, besides that, try to find your own plus point. Like, how are you able to learn things quickly? Like, for me, it was if I am speaking out things well, like I read them and I speak them out, I'm able to learn them quickly. Like I told you about that teacher student stimulation. That's how you can do that. And also, don't hesitate to seek help. If you are not able to understand anything, please reach out to your teachers. Just sitting by yourself for half an hour and still not able to get through that one equation, it won't get you anywhere. And consistency, I would say, is the key to success in your board's preparation. If you're consistent in all your work that you do and like you do not give up on a specific subject that you find tough, you'll succeed pretty nicely. And also, I would say make schedules. Don't try to run away from making schedules. And scheduling doesn't mean that you sit for like 1 day and then you make a schedule for the entire month. You're not supposed to do that because it's not possible to do that. What you have to do is, for example, you came back from school. So now you got some hours. You at this time I have to have dinner and at this time I have to go to sleep. So you know what hours you have. Just divide them into how you will study, like 2 hours of learning work, 1 hour of maths. Just divide it like that. These are a few advice from my end, and rest it's all upon your hard work. All the best.
Thank you so much, Danya. You have been a wonderful guest, and I'm sure that the audience is going to benefit greatly from all the tips and tricks that you have given to us. And now I'll just bring this session to an end. And very many congratulations for scoring such good marks. I'm sure that your parents would be extremely proud as well as your teachers. Okay, then this is your captain, Samia, signing off.